When Flock was first announced as a cozy creature collection co-op experience, say that 5 times fast, Gabe and I were excited and cautious. I mean, at first blush, the art style pops off the page, but your boys have been burned before. You see, these games that rely heavily on a strong art direction don't always bring the goods in gameplay, either lacking in tangible objectives to keep you engaged, or not feeling tight enough to really find any fun. But Flock actually manages to do both and do it really well. Both Gabe and I loved our time with this one. However, we're not just going to end the review there and call it a day. You clicked on this because it was a co-op review by the Co-op Bros. So let's talk about why we think Flock is a great game to try out with your best friend.
You got it? What's this
Yes,
thing?
thank you, bro. Thank you for those hearts.
Hell yeah, dude.
Give me your heart.
Give me your heart.
He's a tough one, dude. He's a tough one. No, I spooked him again. Dude, he's a tough one.
Yeah, he looked kind of hard, honestly.
For such a unique title, we have to give Flock its flowers for how seamless it makes the co-op experience and even goes above and beyond with some surprising co-op mechanics. To start, the game has you create your own unique bird rider before linking up with up to 3 friends in online co-op. Linking up with your friends is made easy right from the main menu, requiring one player to host a lobby while the other players join by using a code provided by the host. You can start the very beginning of the game together and play through the rest of it in co-op too, so we're already off to a pretty great start. Additionally, all of your progress in a co-op session transfers back to your own game, making it very easy if you want to play a portion of this on your own. There's some nice quality of life features like a dedicated bird call button that brings up an icon showing you where your friend is located out on the landscape. You can also track everyone really easily with the in-game map. Now, one of the more unique features lets you pair up, which results in one player taking control of movement. Essentially, you become one giant Flock, which is pretty sweet. Now, the one caveat I have for this whole section is that there's one specific late game mission that didn't quite work very well in co-op, but we'll save that for our critiques later in the video. Overall, Flock really nails ease of play, so let's chat about what exactly you do in this colorful title.
Oh, dude, I just found a super sneaky one. Holy shit.
Love the sneaky ones, bro. I love them.
I was like, wait, what is that? Okay, I know for a fact that this is gonna be a Piper. What? It's not? Oh, it's a Rustics. I forgot about the Rustics.
If you're like us, you saw the trailers for Flock and in one sense understood what the game was, but in another sense had no idea what the game was, let us help you out. The story setup is really simple. You're a bird rider off to visit your aunt, who's an ecologist, and your uncle, a shepherd. Upon arrival, you learn about the local wildlife, and your aunt teaches you how to observe these bird, snake, fish-like creatures. I'm not entirely sure what they are, but they're cute, and I ended up loving them. And wait, what's this? A burgling buell stealing your aunt's whistles? Now you're off to find the stolen whistles and collectibles scattered throughout the world. To do so, you collect sheep, and your uncle shows you how they can graze on mounds that reveal the burgling buells and their stolen treasure. With each whistle recovered, you can go a step further than identifying and actually catching and adding these creatures to your flock. Eventually, you'll run into legendary creatures that have their own special quests that will clear the clouds away, revealing more of the island for you to explore. You do that loop on repeat for about 4 times before you hit the end, after a short and sweet runtime of 6 to 8 hours. So that's the premise. You identify creatures, acting as a pseudo bird watcher collecting data, you find whistles, cosmetics, and larger flock chains hidden by the burgling buells, and then catch identified creatures if you've got the corresponding whistle. Catching a creature is a song and dance, quite literally, as you try to move either closer or further away from the animal until you hit a sweet spot and let out its sort of bird call through the whistle. Some creatures require more of a deft touch than others, and they all have a certain uniqueness to them that we love discovering. You have to chase down some creatures to tire them out, or find them hidden in a tree, or wait for a certain time of day. A lot of the fun is solving how and where to get a creature available for you to actually catch. One key part of the gameplay experience I haven't mentioned yet is the flying. Flock does something really interesting in that you don't control your altitude at all, but instead just focus on moving left and right. You have a button that lets you speed up with fun little speed boosts peppered throughout the landscape. It added a lot to the Zen-like experience and helped us get some pretty cinematic shots, as you can see here as we nicely transition into the next section. This is what you call the transition shot.
Yeah, seriously.
With that effortless segue, let's finally get into why we think Flock is a great co-op game. For a short 6 to 8 hour title, there's a lot to talk about here, but I think the biggest highlight for us was how Flock nails a sense of discovery in co-op. The game does a really great job of making each biome feel like its own little ecosystem. You'll find birds who travel in packs, others that swim, some even burrow into the ground, and they each feel like they belong in this world. Since the game has a very minimal UI, you really have to pay attention to the sights and sounds lest you miss a rare creature fly by. And this is part of the reason why it works so great in co-op. You really feel like you're a pair of zoologists, and having two sets of eyes and ears makes a big difference in filling the Flockopedia or whatever it's called. I can't tell you how many times either one of us found a super hidden bird and then in the most genuine excitement had to call the other bro over to check it out.
Wait, what's going on? Oh, no way, dude. That's
You gotta
crazy.
stare at it, and then you can observe it. I'm starting the identification.
Do it.
That excitement quickly turns into anxiety, as charming super rare or hidden birds can be tough for two reasons. For one, they tend to speed away right after one of us identifies them, leaving the other player out of luck. And secondly, like Andrew mentioned earlier, charming is a unique process that isn't always a cakewalk. At the time of recording this, there's actually still one bird that continues to escape me. Curse you, Barbel Skyfish, I'll catch you one day. Luckily, playing in co-op makes both of these aspects a bit easier. In order to make sure we both got the chance to identify a rare bird, we'd often use this sort of handoff strategy. One of us would make sure the other player was ready to identify the second the first player was done, crucially right before the bird would speed away. Maybe this wasn't an intended form of play, but it worked wonders for us.
I'm gonna get yours as soon as you let him go.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So give me the heads up.
Okay. Get ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, he's being slotted in. Get ready.
Got him.
Right there. No, let's go, dude.
That's
right.
co-op, bro.
And when it comes time to catch the bird, you can have your co-op bird rider assist you by contributing hearts. This can make all the difference if you mistime an input that would otherwise spook the bird, so we made sure we use this mechanic as often as possible. And if you want to make the charming process even more cooperative, you can actually pair up at a perch like I mentioned earlier. Not only would this let one player control your whole flock, but it actually makes you take turns in your inputs while charming creatures. The whole pairing up mechanic is a big positive for us. It felt like such a nice surprise, and it makes the game more accessible to younger gamers and casual players alike. Again, a big positive in our book. As we do with every review though, we point out the positives and the negatives, so let's get into just a few ways Flock falls short.
Oh no, I'm not trying to catch you, Gallus Glebe.
Who do you think you are, Gallus Glebe?
Yeah, don't kid yourself. Holy shit! Oh my god!
Oh god, dude. Let's
Oh
go.
my god!
The whole squad, my
Holy
god.
shit, dude!
That was wild.
That was crazy.
So far, we've been glowingly positive, but there are a few quirks and misses to discuss when we're focused on the co-op. For one, you can't observe creatures at the same time as your partner. I struggled to think of why this would be the case, because it ends up slowing down the pacing when you have to wait for your friend to get through the observation process when you really could just be doing it at the same time. A bigger issue we found later in our experience is that some of the rarer birds can tend to only show up for one of the two players, causing an issue with some questing. We would have to quit out of the co-op session and load back in for the birds to show up a second time so that the second or just other player who didn't get it at first can then see the bird, and that is as clunky as it sounded. This got worse when, on the third legendary quest, which I won't show to avoid spoilers, we had to find 4 distinct birds with only one of each type available, forcing us to move back into a single player session, get those 4 birds on our own, and then relink in co-op because we didn't have duplicates, so we couldn't actually complete it in co-op. Hopefully this is something that gets sorted out with a patch or update, because it definitely took away from what was, up to that point, a very seamless experience. Speaking of seamless, up to that point, again, most of the legendary quests do a good job working in co-op despite being very linear missions. They essentially just let you do the quests in tandem with each other, which worked despite looking a little bit odd when you could see 2 of the legendary creatures kind of like right next to each other. But again, in our third legendary quest where we had issues before that I mentioned, things got weird when suddenly we had to take turns completing completing the tasks for that legendary when it used to work in tandem. It just made for some awkward pacing and some annoying backtracking when we finished it for Gabe, and then we had to do it all over again for me. These are certainly issues, but I'd rack them up as minor quips and awkwardness to an otherwise enjoyable cooperative experience. Oh, we're both in the cutscene. Let's go!
That's sick. I got that last time, and I was like, that's like the sickest thing. Oh, this guy's so cool.
2024 has been a great year for indie games with games like Animal Well and Crow Country, but we've been kind of struggling to find a really great indie co-op game that we were excited to recommend, obviously, until now. Flock really is a great indie co-op game that we think just about anyone would enjoy. It perfectly balances some amazing art direction with some equally engaging gameplay. There's a few minor pain points that will hopefully go away with future patches, but they're not enough to get in the way of the fun. There really isn't another game like it. If you're looking for a really chill co-op game, we highly recommend Flock.
Alright guys, thanks so much for watching us and joining us for a good old-fashioned co-op review. If this video helped you discover if Flock was right for you and your best friend, consider giving it a like and subscribing for future reviews and news in the world of co-op gaming. A special shout out to our patrons for supporting us that extra mile. Be sure to check out all the perks that we offer over there. Either way, catch you guys in the next episode of the Co-op Bros. I need to find. Oh, what the?
Oh my god.
I just found a wacky one, bro. I love him so much, bro. Do you see this?
No, where the hell are you?
Alright, come over to me. This one's wacky, bro.
Dude, I love it that the last 10 minutes you've been like, this one's crazy. No, this one's crazy. That's awesome. Oh wait, I don't even know what I don't even know which one you're looking at. Oh, I see him now. Oh, he's the flat boy.
He is a flat boy, dude. He's a freaking flat pizza, bro.
Oh my god. Dude, actually, you know what this game really is? This is like Bugzax, bro. 100%.
It is, bro. Okay, get him, get him.
Wait,
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
I don't know. He like
Oh, I
literally
totally lost him.
he like literally disappeared into the ground for me.